Welcome to this channel. I'm Dr. Nkiru Nwachukwu, and in this series we're going to be talking about marriage. Now, of course you already know that marriage is a union of a man and a woman to the exclusion of every other person. Now, there are grounds that make your marriage to be void or unavoidable. I'm going to start by telling you what void marriage is. A void marriage is a marriage that was not even legal in the first place. In other words, it does not exist under the law. And then, of course, there is the voidable marriage, which is initiated when one of the parties, makes an application to court for the dissolution of the marriage. Now, let's talk about what makes your marriage void. A marriage is said to be void where one of the parties at the time of marriage is already married to another person. In other words, the court sees such marriage as non-existent. Now, there's also marriages that occur that fall under the prohibited degrees of consanguinity and affinity. Now, consanguinity simply means that the marriage is with a blood relation, while affinity means a marriage that is happening with a relation by marriage. In other words, maybe like a sister-in-law or a brother-in-law is prohibited under the law. But there are certain grounds circumstances where the court might give their consent with respect to prohibited degree of affinity. Now, another thing that can void a marriage is the place of celebration. If the marriage is not happening in the registrar's office or a licensed place of worship or a place that is stipulated in a special license, such marriage is said to be void. So while you're planning that marriage in a beach, you might have to rethink whether your marriage in actual place is a licensed place of worship or a special license was obtained. Now, with respect to a place of celebration, it's important that the minister who is presiding over the marriage is a minister of religion, of course, or a court registrar. Now, a marriage is also said to be void where there's a lack of consent. In other words, the consent was obtained in a fraudulent manner, or maybe by duress. There was like duress, or by mistake, false misrepresentation, or insane person. In other words, one of the parties is insane and is incapable of giving his consent to such marriage. Now, a marriage is also said to be void where there is lack of a marriageable age. In other words, one of the parties is not of marriageable age. Now, a marriageable age was not clearly defined by the Matrimonial Causes Act or the Marriage Act, but the Child's Right Act stipulates that a child is said to be an adult when he or she has attained the age of 18 years. Now, coming to what makes your marriage voidable. A marriage is voidable if there is lack of there's no consummation, the marriage has not been consummated, and maybe one of the parties is suffering from insanity or epilepsy, or there's a vulnerable disease that is communicable, or when it's discovered that one of the parties is, especially the woman is pregnant by another man. Now, on those grounds, one of the parties can approach the court to institute an action for the dissolution of the marriage. So most often when you hear words like annulment is not legal, while dissolution happens by the order of the court, which dissolves it. I'd like you to like, subscribe, and comment on this video. Thank you.